What is up? My name is Garrett at Yogurt on Twitter, YOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the Now Notation YouTube channel. Welcome back to another album review. This week we are talking about Joji and his debut album, Ballads 1. This is a follow-up, I guess, to his most recent drop. Prior to this would be the In Tongues EP, which was kind of just like a concept short album. I don't know if I would necessarily call it a concept album, but it was basically his coming out party as far as the name Joji, the moniker of being this R&B sad making of songs. I don't even know what type of sentence that was, but that's kind of how Joji makes you feel. He kind of breaks you down, doesn't make you feel safe, but he definitely knows how to resonate with you, and it definitely comes across as well on this album, Ballads 1. And let's just jump into the track list real quick, because there's a lot to love about this album. There really is. I'm still walking away being very, very satisfied with just how it plays together and how it comes together. But there is a lot to also question with Mr. Joji himself, just as far as like sustainability, and there's a lot of relatability, that's for damn sure. But just as far as like in comparison to In Tongues, this sound is a lot more developed, but it's very much more in the same lane, and there's not as much going on as far as like I didn't hear a song on this that wasn't like, oh yeah, this doesn't sound like a Joji song. And that's not necessarily what needs to come across, but I feel like there was something lacking, and it may have just been that little bit of extra flair. Even though this in the end is just a love letter to the craft that he's making, this like alternative R&B sound, and it's very cool, it's very appealing, and it's a wonderful listen, honestly. So I can't recommend this album enough. Let me get into the track list. Track number 1 is Attention. Track number 2 is Slow Dancing in the Dark. Track number 3 is Test Drive. Track number 4 is Wanted You. Track number 5 is Can't Get Over You, featuring Clamps Casino. Track number 6 is Yeah Right. Track number 7 is Why Am I Still in LA, featuring Deej and Shlomo. Track number 8 is No Fun. Track number 9 is Come Through. Track number 10 is R.I.P, featuring Trippie Redd. Track number 11 is XNXX. And track number 12 is I'll See You in 40. So far, I really am feeling that this album kind of feels, and I don't want to say stale, because it is a new album, and it does play very, and it is a fresh sound. The production's amazing. It has this very like grimy, underground, authentically like it just sounds like it could have been made in a bedroom, and it's in the best way possible, or just like in a basement, just with like a bunch of candles lit, and like just, it's honestly a very, 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 very real take on heartbreak. And I know that that's kind of like a weird, like, that's something that everyone kind of goes through more or less, but Joji's take on it and the way that he like formulates his words and delivers them is something that like one resonates with the audience, I think, pretty easily, but also kind of appeals to this other crowd who just likes these like drowny sounds of like vocals that just like almost sound so unprofessional, but like so real in the tone and mood that they're portraying, that like it just works just 110%. But so far, the tracks that stand out to me is Attention, Slow Dancing in the Dark. That was a single. That was like really the first single, and that was the one where you heard it and you're just like, damn, like everything on In Tongues EP just got like leveled up tenfold. And I don't know if the album ever like fully contains all that nonsense, like not nonsense, but it's almost like this album's so top heavy, where I am really in love with a lot of these beginning tracks, and I really do enjoy the last track, I'll See You in 40, but the middle parts is where I start to lose it, and it's just the pizzazz and the highlights are all so far in the beginning of this album for me that like when I'm listening to it full, it does kind of in that 7, 8, and 9 range get a little crazy, just as far as like I'm looking for something a little bit more progressive, I guess, or like at least on the first listen. Like once this album exists, you already like are listening for it, but I still am just walking away from it feeling like there is maybe something that could have been added, or just a little bit more flair. But as far as like just honing the craft and just perfecting it, I feel like this is a great album to represent that. And like, if that's all that we were trying to do with this next Joji album, or if that's all he was trying to do, then like, I say he accomplished that, definitely. Just again, I just keep walking away wishing that there's more. But honestly, my favorite track on this would have to be Wanted You. Test Drive is great. That was another single. Can't Get Over You was another single. Yeah, Ride's fun. But yeah, I'll See You in 40 really hit me in the fucking face. So again, if you just want to like feel something, take a fucking bath, light up a candle, and just cry, this is a great album for that. But yeah, and if you're a fan of Joji, you're gonna fall in love with this shit, because like, this is just more Joji just being Joji and killing it. So yeah, what's your favorite track? Let me know in the comment section below. I am clearly tired. My name is Garrett @Yogurt on Twitter, YOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into this album review. Again, follow me on Twitter @Yogurt, Instagram, same as that, @Now Annotation. What am I talking about? Thank you so much. That's all, folks.